The Alabama Farmers Federation and the Alabama Farmers Cooperative proudly present Simply Southern with your hosts Jim Allen and Mary Johnson.
Hello and thanks for watching. I'm Mary Johnson.
And I'm Jim Allen. Coming up on Simply Southern today, we'll meet a teacher whose forward thinking inside the classroom has earned her top honors here in Alabama.
This does as much for me as I hope I do for the students. This makes me feel balanced. I feel like I really just play all day long.
Alabama farmers are learning on this week's show too. Through farm tours, seminars, and a trade show, growers are getting information about issues that affect them at the Alabama Commodity Producers Conference.
You might see something, it may just seem minuscule in the grand scheme of things, but something you can do or a way you can improve your farm just by seeing it done on somebody else's operation is an invaluable tool.
Plus, Sidney Phelps of Bonnie Plants will show you how to use the bounty of your backyard garden to make a fresh salad using pan-seared chicken.
But hey, good looking, if you're so lonesome you could cry, come along with me to Butler County where I saw the light. After the break, we'll take you to the childhood home of an Alabama country legend and the music festival that bears his name.
What we eat, what we wear. It all starts somewhere. And if it's good, it usually starts with a farmer. And that somewhere is right here in Alabama. In a field, in a barn, on a tractor. Right now, there's a farmer starting something good for all of us. And it all starts right here in Alabama.
There's no such thing as downtime when you own a farm. This is your land. You tend it and try to get the most from it, no matter the weather or time of day. It's been that way for generations. And for generations, your local quality co-op store has been there for you, with a full range of agriculture supplies and services, from feed to fertilizer, seed to grain storage, and the right hardware for any application. You'll always find what you need, plus friendly, knowledgeable advice at your local quality co-op store. There's one near you.
If you're traveling down Interstate 65 between the small South Alabama town of Georgiana and Montgomery, you might notice Lost Highway emblazoned across one of those green roadside markers. Well, long before you pass this way, a young man packed up his guitar and headed off to the capital city to sing the country blues. You may have heard of him. His name was Hank. Any conversation about country music, and I'm talking about good old heartbreaking honky-tonk country music, has to include Hank Williams. We've got a rich music history in this state, folks, but few had the impact of this drifting cowboy.
He's just a monumental success. He is and was. He continues to draw the fans and have young fans. I was amazed when I first started working here about the young people who would come through here, and I'd say, how in the world did you ever hear of Hank? And of course it was always, well, my grandma liked his music.
With a population just under 2,000, Georgiana is a pretty small town, but it played a pretty big part in the life of a boy named Hiram.
Hank's birth name was Hiram. And Hiram lived here from 1930 until the fall of 1934. He attended school here in Georgiana when they lived here. School was a block north. He sold peanuts at the depot, which was a block south. And that's how he came to meet T-Tot.
Local musician Rufus T-Tot Payne showed the fledgling guitarist how to play the blues, earning Georgiana a big star on the map for fans of country from all kinds of countries.
Australia, England, France, Germany. Had three nice young men from New Zealand a couple of years ago. They came and stayed a couple of hours with us. I enjoy those that come in and thoroughly look at things and enjoy what we have to display.
But Hank's legacy is his music. And if you're visiting the museum in the summertime, you may hear some familiar tunes drifting in from just down the street. For 38 years, Georgiana's Hank Williams Festival has celebrated the sounds of its favorite son.
They had a Hank Williams dance in the middle of town. People would have the coolers and stuff out on the railroad track, and it got pretty dangerous. when we first started, we didn't have the pavilion, and then we built the pavilion, and it just grew and grew. I guess the most people we've ever had here was when we had George Jones, and there was 6,000 or 7,000. But it's one of the few things Georgiana has left to even be known by.
If you're looking to get your fix of the honky-tonk blues, buddy, you've come to the right place. And if all the great music coming off the stage isn't enough for you, I've discovered the locals are more than willing to weigh in.
But I'm lonesome, I got the lovesick blues. I saw the light, praise the Lord, I saw the light.
Hank Williams passed away before his 30th birthday, but his songs have lived on as an inspiration for his fans and the countless musicians he's influenced.
No one, not Nashville, not Montgomery, not anybody realized that Hank was going to do what he did after his death. Jerry Rivers made the comment one time. He was Hank's fiddle player, and he said, looking out at the audience at the Grand Ole Opry, he thought, this is monumental. This is happening. And it did. It kept on happening, and he is a major influence still. I did see him on the Grand Ole Opry. I don't remember a song he sang. I just remembered I remember how the crowd reacted to him. It was amazing.
The Hank Williams Festival is held the first weekend in June every year. Keep an eye on their website, hankwilliamsfestival.com, as plans are already underway for next year.
And Hank has a long history in the capital city. When Garrett Coliseum opened in 1951, he actually did the first musical performance in that building.
When he passed away, over 25,000 people came to his funeral, and every year at least 60,000 come to visit his gravesite.
It's a big draw here in Montgomery. Up next on Simply Southern, we'll introduce you to an Alabama teacher who's tops for 2017.
How do you show love? With the big things? The little things? The tough things? Your everything. Show them you care. Alpha Insurance.
Support healthy food from local farmers by purchasing a Farming Feeds Alabama license plate. The tag funds education and promotion efforts, including Ag in the Classroom, agricultural scholarships, and youth programs. Get your Ag tag today.
Alabama soybean farmers help fuel the state's economy. Soybeans are used to make clean, renewable biodiesel and are a key ingredient in feed for poultry, catfish, and livestock. Soybeans are used in dozens of products we use every day. But best of all, soybean farmers generate $258 million and more than 4,000 jobs for Alabama's economy, all while helping conserve our natural resources. Explore the power of soy.
Children spend nearly as much time in the classroom as they do anywhere else. That's why outside of mom and dad, a teacher can have the greatest impact on their lives. While some of our own school memories may recall gloomy days slumped over a textbook, things are very different in Chastity Collier's classroom, and her students aren't the only ones taking notice.
Fifth graders at Dawes Intermediate really seem to like their science teacher.
She's the best teacher ever, and the best teacher you could ask for. She's a great teacher, and we do lots of fun experiments. She always has something funny to say about what she's teaching. She'll be teaching us about space, and she'll come up with a funny joke about it.
Creating this sort of enthusiasm in her students has landed Chastity Collier the distinction of the Alabama Teacher of the Year for 2017, a point of pride for the relatively new South Alabama school.
I'm just very humbled and honored that people would choose me as the Teacher of the Year, because this does as much for me as I hope I do for the students. This makes me feel balanced. I feel like I really just play all day long.
Ms. Collier is an energetic, compassionate, very enthusiastic teacher, and her passion for science and love of learning is simply exemplified every single day. We're very proud of her, and we're celebrating her and lifting her up and cheering her on as the state's example of what a Teacher of the Year should be.
Being recognized as Alabama Teacher of the Year is clearly a point of pride for Ms. Collier, her students, and her school. But with the distinction comes responsibility.
Well, she wants to take a unique approach as Teacher of the Year by opening her classroom door to be a demonstration classroom so that other teachers can come in and see how she's teaching and then have the opportunity to sit down and debrief with teachers and other educators across the state.
A former trainer with the Alabama Mathematics Science Technology Initiative, Collier certainly understands how important it is to develop a love of these subjects in her students. But to accomplish this, she knew she had to step away from strictly textbooks and lectures.
At the beginning of my career, I called my mom and I said, I don't think this is what I'm supposed to do. And she said, I'll never forget, she said, we were on the phone, she said, are you having fun? And I said, did you just hear me? No, I'm not having fun. And she said, well, if you're not enjoying it, they're not either.
Any scientist will tell you the joy of their profession is in the lab, observatory, or out in the field. And it's this hands-on approach that Chastity has turned to in her class.
I've had Miss Collier for 2 years now, and I've done so much better in science. We do hands-on experiments every day, and I think that it's helped me so much because you don't learn anything from textbooks or from like hearing the teacher talk about it or seeing it happen. You have to actually do it.
I believe that science that's done is fun, and so every day I have the kids working in cooperative groups, problem solving, learning STEM, different applications, and doing hands-on science every day. When they get to do it, they remember it forever. They're not remembering it for a test, they're applying it to their life.
As Alabama Teacher of the Year, Collier will travel the state participating in a variety of workshops and other activities as an ambassador for education in the state. Made easier with a free year's use of her very own Teach-mobile provided by Alpha. While the many perks are nice, Chastity has particularly enjoyed seeing the reaction from her students.
They feel like they won. They feel like this was their award, and it really is because I told them as I was going through this process that, you know, without you, I'm not a teacher. That morning when I had to go for an interview, they called me that morning from my classroom and prayed for me and wished me good luck. Loving what you do really matters. You know, if somebody's passionate about what they do, they'll be good at it. I told the committee that I don't have the highest degree, but I teach from the heart. You know, I just enjoy what I get to do every day.
For Simply Southern, I'm Samantha Carpenter.
Collier was selected from a field of 16 finalists representing an elementary and secondary teacher from each of Alabama's Board of Education districts.
She now joins consideration for the National Teacher of the Year, which will be named in April.
And according to Chastity, she's the first Alabama Teacher of the Year from Mobile County in 24 years.
Wow, that's quite an honor.
It really is.
When Simply Southern continues, Alabama's farmers are going back to school. In a matter of speaking,
One out of 4 Alabama residents have benefited from the Alabama Cooperative Extension System. Last year, Master Gardener Managed Gardens donated $150,000 worth of fruits and vegetables to food banks, and over 25,000 young people developed math, science, technology, and engineering skills through 4-H. Now what we want to know is, how can we help you?
FFA makes a positive difference in the lives of students by developing their potential for premier leadership, personal growth, and career success through agricultural education.
We're strengthening American agriculture and providing our members with the skills needed to build healthy local communities, a strong nation, and a sustainable world.
We are the next generation of agriculture.
It's our turn now.
Let's show the world what we can achieve together.
We are FFA.
Alabama wheat and feed grain farmers grow food, fuel, and freedom. Their harvest helps feed Alabama's multi-million-dollar livestock catfish, and poultry industries while reducing America's dependence on foreign countries for energy and food. By combining their strength with farmers of other commodities, feed grain growers are fueling the economic growth of Alabama communities.
Nothing brings the family together like U.S. farm-raised catfish. American catfish farmers are dedicated to producing a premium, healthy catfish with a consistently mild, sweet flavor. Because we take as much pride in our work as you do in your cooking. From our family farms to your family's table, you can be sure you're getting the highest quality fish. Because your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
For doctors, lawyers, and most other professions, continuing education is a necessity. Because of constant changes in regulations and advances in technology, the same is true for farmers. This summer, Kevin Worthington went along as farmers from across the state gathered to learn from agricultural experts and each other.
Typically, the diesel engines coming through this farm gate would be on a tractor rather than a 50-passenger bus. More than 100 farmers are touring John DeLoach's farm as part of the Alabama Farmers Federation's 45th annual Commodity Producers Conference. Growers say the time they spend on someone else's farm can pay big dividends.
I can speak from just learning what people are doing on their farms that you can take back to yours. I mean, it's just, you might see something, it may just seem minuscule in the grand scheme of things, but something you can do or a way you can improve your farm just by seeing it done on somebody else's operation is an invaluable tool.
At the three-day event in Birmingham, Pogue joined nearly 1,000 other farmers who toured farms and attended a variety of seminars designed to help them make their farm more successful. He says many of the topics discussed simply aren't available anywhere else.
Just to hear somebody say they're going to talk about soil health may seem like a boring topic, but as producers, we've got to take care of that soil in order for it to, to pay off in what we're investing, from seed to forage quality, whatever it is we're trying to do. That's where we've got to start.
Bottom line, it's about two things. It's about education, and it's also about communicating. As the Alabama Farmers Federation, the lifeblood is our members. We have to know what they need and what they want on their farms and their businesses every day. This gives us an opportunity to really have some intense one-on-one without them throughout the weekend. And then, of course, like we said earlier, with the seminars, with the trade show, just learning from the exhibitors, learning from each other.
This year, the Commodity Producers Conference was held in the Birmingham area, but it moves each year, with the 2018 conference scheduled for Montgomery. Hardin says meeting in different parts of the state each year offers many opportunities.
If we stayed in one location for the Commodity Producers Conference, we would really be limited in the number of farms we would be able to see. We wouldn't have the same variety that we would have. Obviously, growing conditions and challenges sometimes can be different from the north end of the state down to the coast and all in between. So it gives us that opportunity to expose all of us to different farmers, to different techniques, and learn new things in different parts of the state.
For the first time since the early 80s, the Alabama Farm Expo was included this year. Hardin says hundreds of non-farmers attended and had the opportunity to learn more about what it takes to keep them clothed and fed. But the primary purpose is to help build relationships and provide information that helps growers in their daily business.
We do have research projects from Alabama A&M, Auburn, and Tuskegee universities showing really applied research that farmers can learn about, that they can take back to their farm and see what the universities are doing, as well as visiting with the commercial exhibitors and the other agencies.
Farmers say research and technology are critical components in agriculture because they can't set the price for what they produce. So the only way to increase their profit is to increase efficiency.
Being able to adapt to change, we're ever evolving in the agriculture industry like a lot of other industries, being more efficient, better stewards of the land environmentally speaking. It's just really a good time to focus on what you produce and how to make us better farmers.
For Simply Southern, I'm Kevin Worthington.
This was the 45th year for the Commodity Conference, but the first in a long time to have a farm expo. In just 4.5 hours, there were more than 1,000 people who walked through the doors for that event.
I know the booth for our show had a lot of takers. A lot of people walking around with brand new Simply Southern t-shirts on.
Yes, they were lined up ready to get those shirts, and we appreciate that.
When Simply Southern continues, Sidney Phelps from Bonnie Plants is back in the kitchen combining pan-seared chicken with items from the garden to make a delicious salad.
What sustains us? Food? Family? Faith. Alabama farmers live those things every day. They conserve our resources, clothe our families, and fill our tables. They cultivate jobs for our communities and values for our future. Farmers grow it all right here in Alabama.
There's nothing quite like sitting down to a home-cooked meal with fresh vegetables from the garden. With Bonnie Plants from your local quality co-op store, you can enjoy the freshest vegetables right from your own backyard. And no matter if you're a raised bed gardener, a rose gardener, or if you farm hundreds of acres, your quality co-op store has exactly what you need to get the most out of your plants. You'll always find what you need, plus friendly, knowledgeable advice at your local quality co-op store. There's one near you.
Support healthy food from local farmers by purchasing a Farming Feeds Alabama license plate. The tag funds education and promotion efforts, including Ag in the Classroom, agricultural scholarships, and youth programs. Get your Ag tag today.
Seriously? Have some respect. Pick it up, man. Did you just litter? Take pride in your school. Pick it up, man. Clean it up, dude.
Besides keeping your campus clean, adopt a mile with roadside cleanup. Attend the next Coastal Cleanup Day or pitch in on the annual Spring Cleanup campaign. Make a difference by picking up litter and...
Don't drop it on Alabama!
For more Simply Southern, be sure to follow us on social media. And while you're online, visit our website, simplysouthern.tv.net. Simply Southern will continue in a moment.
We believe a plant should be more than a plant. This one is. It's all you need for your garden to succeed because it's a Bonnie plant. It represents hundreds of varieties of Bonnie's quality veggies and herbs. But more, it's from generations of Bonnie people who are passionate about sharing their love of gardening with you. Look for this little Bonnie plant and a whole family of plants like it in your garden center. Bonnie Plants, so you'll know how to grow.
Hey folks, Sidney Phelps here with Bonnie Plants. Today, as you can see, we are here in the kitchen and I have got a great dish that I get ready to prepare for you. So I've got about a 1/4 cup of fresh red onion right out of the garden. It's cooking. We're trying to simmer it down right now. We have got some fresh sugar snap peas that we're going to add to this, as well as some husky cherry tomatoes, all out of the garden for what we're calling a hot summertime chicken salad. So everything's going to be hot going onto a fresh bed of greens for your salad. So right now we've got red onion that's cooking down, so I'm going to stir this on. I've got it on medium heat. It's just starting to brown. Since it's browning, I'm going to go ahead and add in, we've got about a 1/4 cup of fresh snap peas. So I'll just chop those coarsely, let them be big, let them go in there. They're going to really brighten up with color, so you'll see a real robust green with that. So while this is cooking, we're going to let these things get together. I'm going to take these cherry tomatoes and we're just going to half them. So we're going to half them and throw them right back in the bowl because this will be the last thing that we want to add. So catch those. And we're just going to half these up. They're going to go in. We've got fresh thyme out of the garden as well as some ranch seasoning. The ranches we're going to mix in here to go with the chicken as we add it. And that's just going to give the chicken another layer of flavors. We've already pre-cooked the chicken. I did 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts with a Mediterranean marinade that sat about 24 hours, so it's going to have a big citrus flavor. So the ranch is going to kind of pop out from that. So we've got this going. I'll stir this a little bit more. And while that's working, I'm actually gonna go ahead and add the chicken into this. So we've got our pre-cooked chicken, it's already done. We just wanna get it in there, start marrying it with that onion. We're gonna add 1 packet of ranch seasoning, so just put that in there. This is about 4 tablespoons of fresh lemon thyme right out of the garden. And then we're gonna add some black pepper and some salt. So, want to stir that in really good. Let that all get together. All right. Well, as that's cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up these tomatoes real quick. So, this only needs to cook, like I said, the chicken's already pre-cooked, so it only cooks for about 2 or 3 minutes total. And basically, once that gets all together, we're gonna put that over a bed of fresh mixed greens. And we're gonna add these tomatoes, will be the last thing that we add to this. And you can use, there's several different ways you can use this. If you wanna throw in rice and add chicken stock in there, you can. But we're gonna add these tomatoes in. That's gonna get a little bit more juice going. A lot of flavor here in one pot. So just need a couple of seconds in that. We're gonna get our mixed greens and just basically wanna plate this right over top of a bed of fresh mixed greens. You can find this recipe and several more at bonnieplants.com or check out the app Homegrown with Bonnie Plants. Yeah.
You can email Sidney at simplysouthern@alafarm.com if you have a gardening question. He may answer it on an upcoming show. You can also go to bonnieplants.com for gardening tips, recipes, and much more.
We appreciate you watching today, but we've run out of time. I hope you'll join us again next week when we'll look at the newest craze on many farms, barn quilts.
And we'll meet a college student that's turned his love of animals into a small business that puts smiles on the faces of kids everywhere it goes. But before we go, here are links to some of the stories we featured today. I'm Mary Johnson.
And I'm Jim Allen. We'll see you back here again next week.
Simply Southern is a production of the Alabama Farmers Cooperative and the Alabama Farmers Federation.